The mahogany door to Dante Moretti's private study is supposed to be soundproof. That's what the architect promised when he designed this Chicago penthouse, when he installed walls thick enough to contain secrets that could topple empires and silence men permanently. But architects don't account for old heating vents. They don't account for a maid's cart positioned at exactly the wrong angle in exactly the wrong hallway at exactly the wrong moment. And they definitely don't account for Sofia Reyes. Sofia presses herself against the hallway wall, her heart hammering so violently she's certain it will give her away. The cleaning supplies on her cart rattle slightly, and she freezes, one hand shooting out to steady the bottles before they can betray her presence. Through the vent near the floor, barely 6 inches wide, Dante Moretti's voice carries with perfect clarity. "I can't do this anymore, Marco." The words are raw, stripped of the cold command Sofia has heard in the 3 months she's worked here. Every night I close my eyes and I see her face. I see what they did to her. And I know it's my fault she's dead. Sofia's breath catches. She should move, should grab her cart and disappear down the service hallway before anyone discovers her here. The rules were explicit when she took this job. Clean quickly, stay invisible, and never, ever linger near the private study when Mr. Moretti is conducting business. If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I love hearing from you. But something in his voice roots her in place. Pain. Real, devastating pain that transforms the terrifying man she's only glimpsed from a distance into something heartbreakingly human. "Dante, you can't keep torturing yourself." Another voice. "Marco, probably the underboss Sofia has seen entering the penthouse. Isabella's death wasn't your fault. The Calabrese family made that choice. They pulled the trigger. Because I refused to merge territories. Because I wouldn't bend." A sound like glass shattering. "She died because I was too proud, too stubborn to see they'd go after her. My own sister Marco. 23 years old, and I got her killed because I thought I was untouchable." Sofia's hand flies to her mouth, stifling the gasp that wants to escape. Isabella Moretti. The name had been in the news 8 months ago. A young woman found dead in what police called a tragic accident. The reporters asked questions the Moretti family never answered. The case went cold within weeks. Now Sofia knows why. The Calabrese family paid. Marco says firmly. Every single one of them. You made sure of that. Revenge doesn't bring her back. Dante's voice cracks. It doesn't change the fact that I was in a meeting about dock revenues when she was dying. That I chose business over checking on her that night. That the last thing I said to her was that I was too busy to have dinner. You couldn't have known? I should have protected her. The roar makes Sofia flinch. That's what I do, Marco. I protect what's mine. I control everything in this godforsaken city. And I couldn't keep my own sisters safe. What does that make me? Silence stretches. Sofia realizes she's crying, tears sliding down her cheeks as she listens to this powerful, feared man break apart behind a mahogany door. It makes you human, Marco says quietly. And maybe that's what Isabella would want you to remember. That you're still human, Dante. That you're allowed to grieve. I don't have the luxury of being human, not in this world. Sofia knows she needs to leave. Now. Before the meeting ends, before Dante Moretti emerges and finds her eavesdropping on the most private moment of his life. She reaches for her cart, turning it as quietly as possible. The wheel squeaks. It's barely a sound, just a small metallic protest. But in the tomb-like silence of the hallway, it might as well be a gunshot. Everything stops. Marco. Dante's voice has transformed completely. All traces of vulnerability erased. Check the hallway. Sofia abandons the cart and runs. Her practical cleaning flats slap against marble as she races toward the service entrance, her mind screaming at her for being so stupid, so careless. She's nearly to the door when footsteps thunder behind her. "Stop!" Marco's command booms through the corridor. Stop right now, or… Sofia doesn't stop. She slams through the service door into the stairwell, taking the steps two at a time, her lungs burning. She has to get to the ground floor, has to clock out and disappear before they can identify her. Before… A hand catches her arm on the landing between floors. Sofia screams, twisting violently, but the grip is iron. She's spun around and suddenly she's face to face with Dante Moretti himself. Up close, he's devastating. 6'3" of lean muscle in a black suit that probably costs more than her yearly salary. Dark hair slightly disheveled, jaw sharp enough to cut glass, and eyes. God, his eyes are the deepest brown she's ever seen, currently blazing with fury and something else, something that makes her skin burn. Please, Sofia gasps, struggling uselessly against his hold. Please. I didn't hear anything, I swear. I was just cleaning, and I didn't mean to… Stop. The single word freezes her. Dante pulls her closer, close enough that she can smell expensive cologne and something darker, like whiskey and smoke. His other hand comes up to grip her chin, forcing her to meet his gaze. Who are you? Sofia. Sofia Reyes. I work for the cleaning company. I've been assigned here for 3 months, but I promise you, I never listen. I never… You were crying. The observation stops her cold. Dante's thumb brushes across her cheekbone where tears have left tracks. The gesture is surprisingly gentle despite the fury still radiating from him. You heard, he says quietly. It's not a question. Sofia's mind races through possible lies, possible explanations, but something about the rawness still lingering in his expression makes her tell the truth. Yes. Her voice barely whispers. I heard. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about your sister. Dante's eyes widen fractionally. Whatever he expected her to say, it wasn't that. I wasn't spying, Sofia continues desperately. I was cleaning the hallway and the vent. The sound carried through the vent and I should have left immediately, but you sounded so… She stops herself, biting her lip. I sounded what? Dante's voice is dangerously soft now. Broken. The word escapes before Sofia can stop it. You sounded broken, and I lost someone too, and I just understood. For a moment, I understood. Something shifts in Dante's expression. The fury doesn't disappear, but it transforms into something more complex. He studies her face like he's seeing her for the first time, really seeing her. Marco, he calls without looking away from Sofia. His underboss appears in the stairwell above them, weapon drawn. Get her personnel file, everything. Family, address, employment history. I want to know who Sofia Reyes is and why she's been invisible in my home for 3 months. Sir, should I call security to… No. Dante finally releases Sofia's chin, though his hand remains wrapped around her wrist. I'll handle this myself. Clear the penthouse. I need privacy. Marco's eyebrows rise, but he's too well trained to question orders. Yes, sir. After Marco disappears up the stairs, Sofia tries once more to pull free. Mr. Moretti, please. I need this job. I have a daughter and rent and I won't tell anyone what I heard. I swear on my daughter's life. You have a child? It's not a question, but Sofia nods anyway. Elena. She's 6. She's waiting for me at my neighbor's apartment right now, probably already asleep. And if I don't come home? Her voice breaks. Dante is quiet for a long moment, his dark eyes searching her face. Then, come with me. What? You heard something you shouldn't have. That means you're now a liability. He starts pulling her back up the stairs, his grip firm but not painful. But it also means you're now under my protection. Those 2 facts are about to become very important to your survival. I don't understand. You will. Dante guides her back toward the penthouse, his voice dropping to something almost gentle. Sofia Reyes, You just became the most dangerous and most protected woman in Chicago. Whether that's a blessing or a curse remains to be seen. The penthouse is empty when they return, just as Dante ordered. Sofia's abandoned cleaning cart sits in the hallway like evidence of her crime, bottles of polish and rags scattered where she left them in her panic. Dante releases her wrist finally, moving to pour himself a drink from a crystal decanter. His hands are steady, but Sofia notices the tension in his shoulders, the carefully controlled movements of someone holding himself together through sheer will. Sit, he says, gesturing to a leather chair that probably costs more than her car. Sofia perches on the edge, every muscle coiled to run even though she knows it's useless. Are you going to kill me? The question hangs in the air. Dante takes a long drink, then turns to face her, leaning against his desk. That depends on what you do in the next 24 hours. His eyes pin her in place. You heard me confess to murder, Sofia. Multiple murders, actually, if you were paying attention. The Calabrese family isn't just gone. I erased them. Every single member. That's not something I can allow to become public knowledge. I would never. Everyone says that. Dante cuts her off. And most people mean it, right up until the police pressure them, or a rival family offers them money, or they decide their conscience matters more than their safety. He sets down his glass. So we're going to make this very simple. You're going to tell me everything about yourself, and then I'm going to decide whether you live or die. Sofia's blood runs cold. I'm nobody. I clean houses. I take care of my daughter. I don't know anything about your world and I don't want to. Then why were you crying? Dante moves closer, crouching in front of her chair so they're eye level. When you heard me talk about Isabella, why did it affect you? The gentleness in the question undoes something in Sofia's chest. She looks into his eyes and sees the same pain she carries, the same guilt, the same endless weight of loss. My husband, she whispers. Carlos. He died 2 years ago. A robbery at the convenience store where he worked nights. Wrong place, wrong time. Her hands twist in her lap. Elena was 4. She keeps asking when Daddy's coming home, and I have to keep explaining that he's not. That he's never coming home. I'm sorry. And Dante sounds like he means it. The worst part is the guilt. Sofia continues, the words spilling out like a confession she's held too long. We'd fought that morning before he left for work. My last words to him were angry ones. She meets Dante's eyes. So, when you said that to your friend, about Isabella, about being too busy, I understood. I understood exactly how that feels. Silence stretches between them. Sofia can hear the city beyond the floor-to-ceiling windows, Chicago spreading out in glittering lights, indifferent to the small tragedies that happen in its shadows. You said you lost someone too, Dante says finally. You didn't say you lost your husband to violence in my city. It wasn't. It wasn't your fault. It was just random. Nothing in this city is random. Dante stands abruptly, returning to his drink. Everything that happens here is because someone allows it to happen, because territories aren't managed properly, because families get sloppy about protecting civilians. He drains his glass. Your husband died on Calabrese, territory. That store was under their protection. They took money from the owner and failed to provide safety. Sofia's breath catches. You're saying, I'm saying the family that killed my sister also failed yours? Dante turns back to her, his expression unreadable. Which creates an interesting problem for both of us. Before Sofia can ask what he means, the penthouse door opens. A broad-shouldered man she recognizes as Marco enters, tablet in hand. Her file, boss? Marco's eyes flick to Sofia with something like curiosity. And you're going to want to hear this. Dante takes the tablet, scrolling through whatever information they've compiled. His expression grows darker with each swipe. Sofia Reyes, 32 years old. Widow with a 6-year-old daughter. Working 3 jobs to stay afloat. Cleaning service during the day. Data entry at night. Weekend shifts at a diner. He looks up at her. You're drowning in medical debt from your husband's hospital bills. $19,000 and counting. Sofia's cheeks burn with humiliation. I'm making payments. I'll catch up eventually. Your landlord filed an eviction notice yesterday. You have 30 days. Dante continues reading, his voice flat. Your daughter's school flagged her for needing new glasses. You can't afford them. Your car failed inspection. You're one emergency away from complete collapse. I'm managing, Sofia says through gritted teeth, even though they both know it's a lie. You're surviving. Dante sets down the tablet. Barely, which makes you desperate. And desperate people make unpredictable choices when cornered. I'm not going to tell anyone what I heard. Sofia stands, anger overriding fear. You want to know if you can trust me? Fine. I've lived in Chicago my whole life. I know who you are. I know what your family does. And I've never once, not once, gone to the police about anything I've seen or heard in any of the houses I clean. Because I mind my own business and I keep my head down and I take care of my daughter. That's all I care about. That's exactly my point. Dante's voice is soft but cutting. You care about your daughter above everything else. Which means if someone threatened Elena to get information about me, you'd break in a heartbeat. The words hit Sofia like a physical blow because he's right. She would break. She would tell them anything, give them anything, to keep Elena safe. So here's what's going to happen, Dante continues. You're going to quit your cleaning job. All 3 jobs, actually. Your apartment lease will be broken, your belongings moved. You and Elena are going to disappear. Terror floods through Sofia. What? No, you can't. Into a secured property I own in Lincoln Park. Dante continues as if she hasn't spoken. 3 bedrooms, full security. Guards on rotation. Your medical debt will be cleared. Elena will attend private school. You'll have a monthly stipend for expenses. Sofia stares at him, her mind struggling to process the words. I don't understand. I'm buying your silence, Dante says bluntly, and your safety. You heard something that makes you a target to anyone who wants leverage over me. The only way to protect both of us is to put you somewhere I control, where I can guarantee no one gets to you or your daughter. You want to own me. The realization tastes bitter. I want to keep you alive. Dante moves closer again, his eyes intense. Sofia, you seem like a good person, a good mother. But you stumbled into something dangerous tonight, and I can't put that knowledge back in the box. So I can either eliminate the risk, his meaning is clear, or I can control it. This is me choosing control. And if I say no? Dante's expression hardens. Then I'll make sure you and Elena are relocated somewhere far from Chicago under new identities. You'll never see your home again. Never contact anyone from your old life. It'll be witness protection without the legal protection. He pauses. But you'll be alive, and so will your daughter. Sofia's legs give out, and she sinks back into the chair. This can't be happening. 4 hours ago, her biggest worry was whether she had enough gas to make it through her shifts. Now she's being given an ultimatum by a Mafia boss who just confessed to multiple murders. How do I know you won't hurt us? She whispers. You don't. Dante crouches in front of her again, and the proximity makes her breath catch. But I'll give you my word, for whatever that's worth. Your husband died because of violence I should have prevented. Isabella died because I failed to protect her. I'm not going to make the same mistake with you and Elena. This is insane. Welcome to my world. A ghost of dark humor touches his expression. You have until tomorrow morning to decide. Marco will take you home tonight. Think about it. Talk to your daughter if you need to, but Sofia... His hand covers hers, warm and solid. Understands that after tonight, There's no going back to normal. You heard what you heard. That changes everything. Marco drives Sofia home in a black SUV with tinted windows. Neither of them speak during the 20-minute trip through Chicago's late-night streets. Sofia's mind spins with impossible choices and terrifying possibilities. When they pull up to her run-down apartment building, Marco finally breaks the silence. He meant what he said, about protecting you. The big man's voice is surprisingly gentle. I've worked for Dante Moretti for 15 years. I've seen him do terrible things to terrible people. But I've also seen him move heaven and earth to protect innocents who got caught in crossfire. You're not his enemy, Miss Reyes. You're just someone who is in the wrong place at the wrong time. How is that different? Sofia asks bitterly. Because he's giving you a choice. Marco's eyes meet hers in the rearview mirror. Most people in your position don't get one. Sofia climbs out of the SUV on shaking legs. She expects Marco to drive away, but instead, he parks and follows her to the building entrance. I'll wait here until you're inside, he explains. Boss's orders. Of course, because even now she's being watched, protected or monitored, maybe both. Mrs. Chen, her elderly neighbor, opens the door with Elena sleeping in her arms. The sight of her daughter, dark curls tangled, glasses slightly crooked even in sleep, makes Sofia's chest ache. Late night, Mrs. Chen observes, eyeing Sofia's pale face with concern. Everything okay, mija? Long day. Sofia takes Elena carefully, feeling her daughter's warm weight settle against her shoulder. Thank you for watching her. Anytime. That sweet girl is never trouble. Mrs. Chen pauses. Sofia, the landlord came by again. He seemed angry. I know, I'm handling it. But she's not handling it. She's barely treading water, and they both know it. Inside their tiny apartment, one bedroom that Elena sleeps in while Sofia takes the couch, a kitchenette with appliances that barely work, Sofia tucks her daughter into bed. Elena stirs slightly, her small hand reaching out. Mama? I'm here, baby. Sofia smooths back her hair. Go back to sleep. I had a dream about Daddy. Elena's voice is sleepy, innocent. He said he misses us. Sofia's eyes burn. I'm sure he does. He loved you so much. Do you think he's proud of us? That we're being brave? The question breaks something in Sofia's heart. She thinks about Carlos, about the dreams they had for their daughter. A good education, a safe neighborhood, opportunities they never had. She thinks about the eviction notice, about Elena's broken glasses held together with tape, about the medication they can't afford when she gets sick. She thinks about Dante Moretti's offer. A secured apartment, private school, safety. A cage maybe, but a gilded one where her daughter could thrive. I think Daddy would want us to do whatever keeps us safe and happy. Sofia whispers. Even if it's scary, even if it's different from what we planned. Elena's already asleep again, but Sofia sits there for a long time, watching her breathe. Tomorrow she'll have to give Dante Moretti an answer. Tomorrow, her entire life will change, one way or another. She just has to decide which direction to let it fall. Sofia doesn't sleep. She lies on her worn couch, staring at water stains on the ceiling, watching shadows shift as cars pass below. Every time she closes her eyes, she sees Dante Moretti's face, the fury when he caught her, the raw pain in his voice when he talked about Isabella, the unexpected gentleness when he touched her cheek. Now you're mine forever. He hadn't said those exact words, but the implication hung in the air between them. The moment she accepts his offer, she becomes his responsibility. His possession, maybe. Part of a world she's spent her entire life avoiding. At 5 a.m., Sofia makes her decision. She thinks about Elena asking if Carlos would be proud of them being brave. She thinks about the eviction notice, about winter coming and their broken heater, about the way her daughter's eyes lit up last week when they passed a private school and saw children in crisp uniforms playing in a safe, clean playground. She picks up her phone and finds the number Marco programmed in before he left. Her finger hovers over the call button for a full minute before she presses it. He answers on the first ring. Miss Reyes. I'll do it. Sofia's voice is steadier than she feels. I'll accept Mr. Moretti's offer, but I have conditions. A pause. I'll let the boss know. He'll send a car at 8. Marco. Sofia stops him before he can hang up. Will he really keep us safe? Or am I making the biggest mistake of my life? The silence stretches long enough that Sofia thinks he won't answer. Then, Dante Moretti is a lot of things. A killer. A criminal. Someone you should probably be afraid of. But he's also the most loyal man I've ever known. When he gives his word, he keeps it. Even when it costs him everything. The line goes dead. Sofia looks at her sleeping daughter and prays she's made the right choice. The car that arrives at 8 a.m. isn't Marco's SUV. It's a sleek black Mercedes with a driver in a suit and a woman in the passenger seat. Petite, sharp-eyed, maybe 60 years old with silver hair pulled back severely. Sofia Reyes? The woman extends her hand as Sofia approaches Elena. I'm Rosa Castellano. I manage Mr. Moretti's household staff. I'm here to facilitate your transition. Mama, who's this? Elena clutches her stuffed rabbit, eyeing the fancy car nervously. A friend, baby. Sofia forces a smile. We're going to see a new apartment today. Won't that be exciting? Elena's face scrunches skeptically. At 6, she's already learned that exciting in adult speak usually means scary and confusing. Rosa's expression softens as she looks at Elena. Hello, sweetheart. I have a granddaughter about your age. She loves unicorns. Do you like unicorns? Elena nods shyly. Well, the new apartment has a bedroom with a window seat that would be perfect for reading unicorn books. Would you like to see it? As Rosa expertly distracts Elena, Sofia climbs into the Mercedes, her stomach churning. This is really happening. She's leaving behind everything familiar, her neighborhood, her jobs, her independence, to become a kept woman in a gilded cage. The drive takes them through Chicago's transformation from her working-class neighborhood to Lincoln Park's tree-lined streets and historic brownstones. When they pull up to an elegant 3-story building with wrought iron balconies and manicured gardens, Sofia's breath catches. This can't be. The entire 3rd floor, Rosa confirms. Mr. Moretti owns the building. The first 2 floors house security personnel and their families. Very discreet, very safe. Inside, the apartment is breathtaking. Hardwood floors, high, ceilings, crown molding, and furniture that looks like it belongs in a magazine. Floor-to-ceiling windows flood the space with morning light. The kitchen has granite countertops and appliances Sofia has only seen in showrooms. Mama, look! Elena runs to the window seat in what's clearly meant to be her bedroom. It's just like the lady said. The room is painted soft lavender with white furniture and shelves already stocked with age-appropriate books. On the bed sits a stuffed unicorn, clearly placed there deliberately. Sofia turns to Rosa, her eyes burning. This is too much. This is safety, Rosa corrects gently. Mr. Moretti is very particular about the people under his protection. He wants you to be comfortable. Happy, even, if possible. Where is he? Handling business, but he'll be here this evening. Rosa pulls out a tablet. Now, we have a lot to accomplish today. Your belongings from the old apartment are being packed and moved as we speak. Without my permission? Anger flashes through Sofia. Rosa meets her gaze steadily. The building you lived in is already under surveillance by 3 different organizations who would love leverage over Mr. Moretti. Every minute you stay there is a minute you're exposed. This isn't negotiable, Sofia. You agreed to protection, and protection means doing things my way. The steel beneath Rosa's grandmotherly exterior reminds Sofia exactly who she's dealing with. These aren't normal people offering normal help. This is the Mafia, and they operate by different rules. What about my jobs? Sofia asks quietly. You'll receive a monthly stipend of $8,000, deposited into a new account we've opened in your name. Your medical debt has been cleared as of this morning, all $19,347. Elena's enrollment at St. Catherine's Academy begins Monday. Rosa swipes through her tablet. You'll have a driver, Tony, very reliable, who will take Elena to school and pick her up. You're not to leave this building without a security escort. Those are Mr. Moretti's non-negotiable terms. Sofia sinks onto the pristine cream sofa, her head spinning. $8,000 a month. No debt. Private school. It's more than she's ever dreamed of having. And all it costs is her freedom. What does he expect from me? The question comes out smaller than Sofia intends. In exchange for all this? Rosa's expression softens. Your silence, your safety, and... She pauses. Perhaps your presence, occasionally. Mr. Moretti has been alone since his sister died. I think he found something in you last night. Someone who understands his grief. Don't underestimate how rare that is in his world. Before Sofia can process that, Elena appears in the doorway, eyes huge. Mama, there's a bathroom with a bathtub that has jets. Can we try it? Please. Later, baby. Let Miss Rosa finish talking to Mama. But Rosa stands, smiling. Actually, why don't you explore while I show your mother a few more things? Get familiar with your new home. After Elena scampers off, Rosa's expression becomes serious. Sofia, I need you to understand something. The moment you walked into this apartment, you became part of Dante Moretti's world. That means certain people will see you as a weakness to exploit. Others will see you as a prize to steal. You must never, ever let your guard down. Not with strangers, not even with people who seem friendly. You're scaring me. Good. Fear keeps you alert. Rosa touches Sofia's shoulder. But know this. Every person in this building would die before letting someone hurt you or Elena. That's what Moretti protection means. You're family now, whether you wanted to be or not. The day passes in a blur. Movers arrive with Sofia's meager possessions, boxes that look pathetic in the spacious apartment. A doctor comes to examine both her and Elena, declaring Elena overdue for new glasses and scheduling an appointment with an optometrist. A woman named Marie arrives to take measurements for new clothes, appropriate for your position. Sofia doesn't ask what her position is. She's not sure she wants to know. By the time evening falls and Elena is bathed and fed and tucked into her new bed with her new unicorn, Sofia feels like she's been through a hurricane. She stands in the expansive living room, looking out at Chicago's skyline, and tries to reconcile this reality with the life she woke up to yesterday. The soft click of the apartment door makes her spin around. Dante Moretti enters like he owns the place. Which, Sofia reminds herself, he does. He's changed from last night's suit into dark jeans and a black Henley that clings to his frame in ways that make Sofia's mouth go dry. Without the armor of expensive tailoring, he looks younger, more human, more dangerous. Sofia. His dark eyes sweep over her, assessing. You came. Did I have a choice? A slight smile touches his mouth. There's always a choice. You made the smart one. He moves further into the apartment, and Sofia notices he's carrying a bag from a high-end toy store. For Elena, Rosa mentioned she likes unicorns. The gesture, unexpected, thoughtful, loosens something in Sofia's chest. You didn't have to do that. I wanted to. Dante sets the bag on the counter. Is she asleep? Just went down. Today was overwhelming for her. For both of you, I imagine. Dante pours himself a drink from the fully stocked bar. Of course there's a fully stocked bar, and raises an eyebrow at Sofia. Want one? I don't drink. Smart. Never dull your senses in this world. He takes a sip, studying her over the rim of his glass. Rosa says you asked what I expect from you. Sofia's cheeks flush. It's a reasonable question. It is. Dante moves to the window, standing beside her, but not touching. I expect your discretion. I expect you to follow security protocols without argument. I expect you to let me provide for you and Elena without your pride getting in the way. That's all? That's all. He turns to face her fully, and the intensity in his gaze makes her breath catch. I'm not keeping you here as payment for some imagined debt, Sofia. I'm keeping you here because you heard something that makes you vulnerable, and I protect what's mine. I'm not yours. Aren't you? The question is soft, dangerous. The moment I decided you were worth protecting, you became mine. That's how this works. I don't do halfway measures. Sofia should be frightened. She should step back, put distance between them. Instead, she hears herself asking, why me? You could have just killed me and been done with the problem. Dante's expression shifts, something vulnerable flickering across his features before he can mask it. Because when I caught you in that stairwell, you weren't afraid of me. You were afraid for me. You cried for my pain, not yours. He sets down his glass. Do you know how long it's been since someone gave a damn about whether I was hurting? Your people care about you. My people fear me, respect me, obey me. That's not the same as caring. Dante takes a step closer and Sofia's back presses against the window. You heard me at my lowest moment, and instead of using it against me, you understood. That's either incredibly stupid or incredibly rare. I'm betting on rare. Sofia's heart hammers as Dante raises his hand, his fingers brushing her cheek exactly like he did in the stairwell. The touch sends electricity through her nerve endings. I'm not a good man, Sofia. His voice drops to barely a whisper. I've done things that would make you run screaming if you knew the details. But I keep my promises, and I promise you, no one will hurt you or your daughter while you're under my protection. That's not nothing. No, Sofia agrees, her voice unsteady. That's not nothing. They stand like that, inches apart, something dangerous and undeniable crackling in the air between them. Sofia knows she should move, should remind him that she's not some prize he won, that this is a business arrangement, nothing more. But her body isn't listening to her brain. Her body is leaning toward him, drawn by the heat of him, by the intensity in his dark eyes, by the grief she recognizes because it mirrors her own. Dante's thumb traces her lower lip, and Sofia's breath hitches. Tell me to stop, he murmurs. Tell me this crosses a line. Sofia should. God, she should. This man is dangerous. A killer. Someone who operates in shadows and violence. Getting involved with him beyond this forced protection arrangement is insanity. But when she opens her mouth, what comes out is, what if I don't want you to stop? Dante's eyes flare with heat. For a moment, Sofia thinks he'll kiss her, will close the final inch between them and make this complicated situation infinitely more complex. Instead, he steps back, his expression shuddering. Then, you're more dangerous than I thought. His voice is rough. Get some sleep, Sofia. Tomorrow we'll discuss the rules in more detail. He's gone before she can respond, the door clicking shut behind him with a finality that makes Sofia's chest ache. She touches her lip where his thumb was and wonders what the hell she's gotten herself into. The next morning, Sofia wakes to find Elena already dressed and eating breakfast in the kitchen. Rosa sits with her, helping with her oatmeal, and the domestic scene is so surreal that Sofia blinks, convinced she's still dreaming. Mama! Elena bounces in her seat. Miss Rosa says I start my new school on Monday, and they have a library with a whole room just for reading. Can you believe it? That's wonderful, baby. Sofia accepts the coffee Rosa offers, grateful for the normalcy of the gesture. Did you sleep well? The best ever. My bed is so soft and I didn't hear any sirens all night. The casual observation that Elena is used to falling asleep to the sound of sirens makes Sofia's chest tight. Maybe this arrangement is worth it just for that. For giving her daughter quiet nights and soft beds and libraries with rooms just for reading. Mr. Moretti called, Rosa says carefully. He'd like you to join him for lunch today. Just you. I'll watch Elena. Sofia's stomach flips. Did he say why? To discuss your arrangement in more detail, Tony will drive you to the restaurant at noon. After Rosa leaves and Elena is occupied with her new books, Sofia stands in her new walk-in closet, an actual walk-in closet, staring at clothes that appeared overnight. Designer labels she's only ever seen in store windows. Everything in her size, perfectly tailored. She chooses a simple navy dress that feels the least intimidating and tries to calm her racing heart. This is just lunch, a conversation. Nothing to be terrified about. Except Dante Moretti isn't just anyone, and nothing about this situation is simple. Tony arrives promptly at 11:45, a bear of a man with kind eyes and hands that could probably snap her neck without effort. He drives her to an upscale Italian restaurant in River North, the kind of place with a dress code and a wine list thicker than a phone book. Mr. Moretti owns this place, Tony explains as he escorts her inside. It's secure. No one gets in without being vetted. Of course he owns it. Sofia is beginning to realize that Dante Moretti owns half of Chicago. The maitre d' leads her to a private room in the back, where Dante waits, looking devastating in a charcoal suit. He stands when she enters, his eyes traveling over her in a way that makes her skin heat. Sofia, you look beautiful. Thank you. She takes the seat he pulls out for her, hyper-aware of his proximity. Your restaurant is lovely. My mother's favorite place. Something sad flickers across his face. She died when I was 19. Isabella and I used to come here on her birthday, keep the tradition alive. He pauses. We came here the week before she was killed. Sofia's hand reaches across the table instinctively, covering his. I'm sorry. Dante looks down at their joined hands, his expression unreadable. Then he turns his palm up, threading his fingers through hers. You keep doing that. What? Offering comfort when you should be afraid of me. Maybe I'm tired of being afraid all the time. Sofia means it as a joke, but it comes out too honest, too raw. Dante's grip tightens. Then we're going to get along just fine. If you're hooked on this story, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything and helps me bring you more emotional stories like this one. A server appears with wine and appetizers Sofia didn't order. After he leaves, Dante releases her hand. Sofia tries not to feel disappointed and leans back in his chair. We need to discuss expectations, he says. All business now. You're under my watch now, which means certain rules apply. I need to know if you understand them. Rosa gave me the basics. Don't leave without security. Don't talk to strangers about you or your business. Keep my head down and my mouth shut. Close, but not quite complete. Dante's eyes hold hers. There will be times when you'll need to appear in public with me. Charity galas, business dinners, family events. You'll need to play a role. Sofia's stomach drops. What kind of role? My companion. Someone I'm seeing, protecting, invested in. He says it casually, like he's discussing the weather. It'll keep you safer if people think you matter to me personally, not just as a witness I'm keeping quiet. So I'm supposed to pretend to be your girlfriend. Pretending is optional. The heat in his voice makes Sofia's breath catch. But yes, in public, people will assume we're together. You'll need to be comfortable with that. With me touching you, standing close, acting like we're intimate. Sofia's mind spins. This is moving so fast, spiraling beyond simple protection into something far more complicated. And if I'm not comfortable with that? Dante leans forward, his intensity pinning her in place. Then we'll work on it. Because Sofia, whether you like it or not, you're already a target. The moment you moved into that apartment, certain people started asking questions. Who is she? Why does Moretti care about some cleaning woman? What leverage does she have? I don't have any leverage. They don't know that, and in my world, perception is reality. His hand reaches across the table again, but this time he doesn't take hers. He traces the rim of her wineglass, a gesture that feels oddly intimate. If people think you're just a witness, you're disposable. But if they think you're someone I care about, someone I'd burn cities for, then you become untouchable. You're asking me to become bait. I'm asking you to become bulletproof. Dante's eyes burn into hers. There's a difference. Sofia thinks about Elena, about the quiet apartment and the private school, and the future her daughter could have if Sofia is brave enough to play this game. What happens at these events? She asks finally. What would I need to do? Stand beside me. Look like you belong there. Let me introduce you as someone important in my life. Dante pauses. Occasionally, I'd need to touch you. Your hand, your waist, your face, the kind of casual intimacy couples display. Can you handle that? Sofia's pulse races. The idea of Dante touching her, of pretending intimacy that might not be entirely pretend, should terrify her. Instead, it sends heat pooling low in her belly. I can handle it, she says, proud of how steady her voice sounds. Good. Dante sits back, satisfied. The first event is Friday, a charity gala at the Drake Hotel. Rosa will make sure you have something appropriate to wear. That's 3 days away, which gives you time to get comfortable with the idea. Dante signals the server, who appears with their entrees. Now, let's talk about something more pleasant. Tell me about Elena. What's she like? The shift in conversation throws Sofia off balance. For the next hour, they eat and talk, and Sofia finds herself relaxing despite the absurdity of the situation. Dante asks about Elena's interests, her school struggles, her relationship with her father. He listens with genuine attention, occasionally asking questions that reveal he's actually paying attention, not just making polite conversation. She sounds remarkable, Dante says finally, strong, like her mother. I'm not strong, I'm terrified most of the time. Strength isn't the absence of fear, Sofia. It's moving forward despite it. His eyes hold hers. You've been raising a child alone for 2 years, working 3 jobs, drowning in debt, and you never gave up. That's stronger than anything I've ever done. You've built an empire. I inherited an empire and defended it with violence. There's no courage in that, just ruthlessness. Something dark crosses his expression. You build things, Sofia. You create, nurture, protect. I destroy. We're not the same. Maybe we're more similar than you think, Sofia says quietly. We've both lost people we loved. We're both doing whatever it takes to protect what matters. The methods are different, but the motivation is the same. Dante stares at her like she's said something profound. Then, slowly, he smiles. A real smile that transforms his face from devastating to absolutely beautiful. How are you real? He murmurs, more to himself than to her. Before Sofia can answer, his phone buzzes. Dante checks it, and his expression hardens instantly. We need to leave, now. He's already standing, tossing cash on the table. Tony! The big man appears immediately, weapon already drawn. Sir? Get her to the car. Back entrance. Move. What's happening? Sofia's heart pounds as Tony hustles her toward a door she hadn't noticed. Someone's asking questions about you. Dante's voice is ice cold, all traces of warmth gone. Someone who shouldn't know you exist. They burst into an alley where the Mercedes waits, engine running. Tony shoves Sofia into the back seat with Dante while another man, one of the security team, takes the driver's seat. Who? Sofia gasps as the car peels away from the curb. Who's asking about me? Dante's jaw is granite. The Vitale family. They're rivals who've been trying to move into my territory for years. He pulls out his phone, typing rapidly. If they know about you, they'll try to use you against me. But I'm nobody. I don't know anything. You know I have a weakness. Dante's eyes meet hers, fierce and protective. You heard me break. That makes you valuable intelligence. His hand finds hers, gripping tight. I won't let them get to you, Sofia. I swear to God, I won't let anyone hurt you. The car speeds through Chicago's streets, Tony barking coordinates into his phone. Sofia's mind races with terror and a strange, inappropriate thrill at the feel of Dante's hand wrapped around hers. This is real now. The danger, the protection, the impossible situation she's stumbled into. And despite everything, despite the fear coursing through her veins, Sofia realizes she trusts this man. God help her, but she does. The safe house is nothing like Sofia expected. Instead of some dingy warehouse or abandoned building, Tony drives them to an elegant brownstone in Gold Coast, its exterior giving no hint of the fortress within. The moment they're inside, Dante's team moves with military precision, securing exits, checking windows, establishing a perimeter. Elena, Sofia gasps, grabbing Dante's arm. Oh God, Elena is at the apartment. Already secured. Dante shows her his phone where a live security feed displays Rosa sitting with Elena in the apartment, reading books, while 4 armed guards position themselves strategically around the space. She doesn't even know anything's wrong. Rosa's good at keeping children calm. Sofia's knees buckle with relief, and Dante catches her, his arms wrapping around her waist. For a moment, she lets herself lean into his strength, breathing in his scent, cologne and something darker, like gunpowder and expensive whiskey. I've got you, he murmurs against her hair. I've got both of you. Mr. Moretti. Marco appears, tablet in hand, his expression grim. We've identified the leak. Dante's entire body tenses. Show me. Sofia should probably leave, give them privacy for whatever violent business discussion is about to happen. But Dante's arm remains around her waist, holding her close, and she realizes with a start that he wants her here. I need her here. Maybe. Marco pulls up security footage showing a young man in a suit, one of Dante's lower-level associates. Vincent Russo. He's been on the Vitale payroll for 3 months. Feed them information about your daily routines, security protocols, and... Marco's eyes flick to Sofia apologetically. About the new woman and child you moved into, the Lincoln Park property. Dante's jaw clenches hard enough that Sofia hears his teeth grind. Where is he now? We have him in holding, waiting for your orders. I want everything he told them. Every detail, every conversation. Then, Dante pauses, his arm tightening around Sofia. Then you know what to do. The casual discussion of torture and execution should horrify Sofia, should make her pull away, remind herself that this man is a monster regardless of how gentle he is with her. But instead, she thinks about Elena, about what might have happened if Dante's people hadn't caught this leak in time. Do whatever you need to do, she says quietly. Both men look at her in surprise. Dante's expression shifts to something like respect, mixed with concern. Sofia. He put my daughter at risk. Her voice is steady despite the rage and fear churning in her stomach. He sold information that could have gotten Elena killed. So do whatever you need to do, and don't apologize for it. Marco actually smiles, a rare expression on his granite features. I'll handle it, boss. He leaves, and Sofia can hear him barking orders into his phone. Alone now, in the elegant living room, Dante turns Sofia to face him fully, his hands framing her face with unexpected tenderness. You never stop surprising me. Because I'm not falling apart? Because you're stronger than most of my soldiers. His thumb brushes her cheekbone. You should be disgusted by what I just ordered. Instead, you're standing here like a goddamn warrior goddess ready to protect your child by any means necessary. I learned from the best, Sofia says, meaning him, meaning the way he's shown her that sometimes violence is the price of safety. Something dangerous flares in Dante's eyes. Sofia, I need you to understand something. The Vitales knowing about you changes everything. They'll come after you now. Try to use you as leverage. Which means I need to be more than just under your protection. Sofia understands before he finishes. I need to be untouchable. I need to be mine. The word comes out rough, possessive. Publicly, undeniably mine. Not a woman I'm protecting. A woman I'm claiming to be. Sofia's heart hammers against her ribs. You want me to pretend? I don't want you to pretend anything. Dante's voice drops to something raw and honest. I want you, Sofia. I've wanted you since that moment in the stairwell when you looked at me with tears in your eyes and saw my pain instead of my power. I want you so badly it terrifies me, because wanting things in my world gets them killed. His forehead drops to touch hers. But pretending might not be enough anymore. We might need to make this real. The words hang between them, loaded with impossible implications. Sofia should say no. Should remind him that this started as protection, that she's not ready for this, that getting involved with a mafia boss is insane even by her new standards of insanity. But, standing here with his hands on her face and his breath mingling with hers, Sofia realizes the pretending ended days ago. Maybe it ended that first night when he caught her and saw her tears and decided she was worth saving. What does real mean in your world? She whispers. It means you're not just under my protection. You're my partner, my equal, the woman I come home to. His eyes search hers desperately. It means I stop pretending I'm keeping you close just for safety and admit that I'm keeping you close because I can't imagine my life without you in it anymore. Dante, I know it's too fast. I know it's crazy. But time works differently in my world, Sofia. When you live with death hovering over your shoulder, you don't waste moments. You don't wait for the perfect time, because there is no perfect time. His hands slide into her hair. I'm not asking you to love me. I'm asking you to let me love you. To let me protect you and Elena not out of obligation, but because you matter. Because you both matter more than anything. Sofia's eyes burn with tears. You don't even know me. I know you cry for strangers' pain. I know you'd sacrifice anything for your daughter. I know you're brave enough to stand in a room while I order someone's execution and not flinch. His voice cracks slightly. I know you make me want to be someone Isabella would be proud of. Someone who does more than just survive and destroy. That's more than I've known about anyone in my entire life. I'm scared, Sofia admits, her hands coming up to grip his wrists. I'm terrified of losing myself in this, of becoming just another possession. Then don't. Dante's intensity burns through her. Keep your fire, your strength, your independence. I don't want to own you, Sofia. I want to stand beside you. To build something together. A real family, not just a protection arrangement. Elena deserves a father who would die before letting her be hurt. Who will be there for school plays and skinned knees and first heartbreaks? Who will give her everything I never had? Safety, stability, love. His eyes glisten. I can be that, Sofia. Let me be that. Sofia's last defenses crumble. This man, this dangerous, damaged, devastating man, is offering her everything she's been too afraid to want. A partner, a protector, a father for her daughter. a chance at something more than just survival. Kiss me, she breathes. If we're going to do this, if we're going to make it real, then kiss me like you mean it. Dante doesn't need to be asked twice. His mouth crashes onto hers with a hunger that steals her breath. It's not gentle or tentative. It's claiming, possessive, a promise written in heat and need. His hands tangle in her hair, angling her head to deepen the kiss, and Sofia gasps against his lips, opening for him. The kiss tastes like expensive wine and danger and coming home. Sofia's hands fist in his shirt, pulling him closer, needing more contact, more heat, more of everything. When Dante lifts her, she wraps her legs around his waist instinctively, and he carries her to the nearest wall, pinning her there with his body. Mine, he growls against her mouth. Say it, Sofia. Say you're mine. Yours, she gasps as his lips trail down her neck. God, Dante, I'm yours. The confession breaks something open in both of them. Dante kisses her like he's drowning and she's air, like she's the only thing tethering him to humanity. And Sofia kisses him back with equal desperation, pouring every ounce of fear and hope and impossible attraction into the connection between them. When they finally break apart, both breathing hard, Dante rests his forehead against hers. No going back now. I don't want to go back. Sofia's fingers trace his jaw. But Dante, you have to promise me something. Anything. Promise me you'll be careful, that you won't take unnecessary risks because you think you're invincible. Her voice cracks. I can't lose someone else I love. I can't put Elena through that again. Dante goes very still. Someone else you love? Sofia realizes what she's said, but she doesn't take it back. Can't take it back because somewhere in the chaos of the last few days, it became true. Yes, she whispers. I love you. I don't know how or when it happened, but I do. And it terrifies me. The smile that spreads across Dante's face is pure joy, unguarded, beautiful, transforming him into someone younger, lighter. Ti amo, tesoro mio, he murmurs, kissing her softly. I love you. I've loved you since you stood in that stairwell and chose compassion over fear. That was 4 days ago. In my world, 4 days is a lifetime. He kisses her again, slower this time, savoring. And I plan to spend the rest of my lifetime making sure you never regret choosing me. Marco's polite cough from the doorway breaks the moment. Boss, sorry to interrupt, but we have a situation. Dante carefully sets Sofia down, keeping one arm around her waist as he turns to his underboss. What kind of situation? The Vitalis sent a message. They want to meet. Neutral territory, tomorrow night. They're proposing a truce. Dante's expression hardens. A truce? Or a trap? Could be both. Marco's eyes are cautious. But they included this. He holds out a phone showing a photo of a man Sofia doesn't recognize. Middle-aged, expensive suit, cold eyes. Salvatore Vitale himself wants to meet. He never leaves his compound for negotiations. This is unprecedented. Because he knows about Sofia. Dante's arm tightens protectively. He's curious about the woman who got me to care about something other than business. Could be an opportunity, Marco suggests carefully. If you show up with her, make it clear she's untouchable. It might be enough to prevent a war. Or it paints a bigger target on her back. I'll do it, Sofia speaks before she can second-guess herself. If it helps prevent violence, if it keeps Elena safer, I'll go to this meeting. Absolutely not. You said I'm your partner now, not just someone you're protecting. Sofia turns to face Dante fully. Partners make decisions together. And I'm deciding that hiding isn't going to solve this. They know about me. Let's use that. Let's show them exactly how big a mistake it would be to come after me. Dante stares at her like she's grown a second head. Then, slowly, he starts to laugh. A real, genuine laugh that makes his shoulders shake. Madonna, you're going to give me a heart attack. But you love me anyway. But I love you anyway. He pulls her close, pressing a kiss to her temple. Fine, we'll do it your way. But Sofia. His voice turns deadly serious. You follow my lead. You stay close. And if I tell you to run, you run. Understood? Understood. Marco looks between them with something like approval. I'll set up security protocols. Triple detail. Snipers on adjacent buildings. Escape routes planned. If this goes sideways, we'll be ready. After he leaves, Dante turns back to Sofia, cupping her face in his hands. You're sure about this? Once we step into that meeting together, there's no ambiguity. You'll be marked as mine by every family in Chicago. Good. Sofia's smile is fierce. Let them know. Let everyone know that I'm yours and you're mine, and that we protect what's ours. Dante kisses her again, slower, deeper, a promise of things to come. How did I get so lucky? He murmurs against her lips. You caught me eavesdropping and decided I was worth the trouble. Best decision I ever made. The next evening, Sofia stands in front of the mirror, while Rosa puts the finishing touches on her appearance. The dress Dante sent is stunning. Midnight blue silk that hugs her curves before falling in elegant waves to the floor. Diamonds glitter at her throat and ears, borrowed from Dante's mother's collection. Her hair is swept up in a sophisticated style that makes her look older, more polished, more like someone who belongs on Dante Moretti's arm. You look like a queen, Rosa says softly, meeting Sofia's eyes in the mirror. Which is exactly what you need to be tonight. These men respect power and beauty in equal measure. Show them both. I'm terrified, Sofia admits. Good. Channel that fear into strength. Rosa squeezes her shoulders. And remember, you're not alone. Dante will be beside you every moment. And if anyone tries anything, they'll have to go through 30 of our best men first. In the living room, Elena sits with her new coloring books, oblivious to the tension. Sofia kneels beside her daughter, careful not to wrinkle her dress. Mama, you look like a princess. Elena's eyes are huge. Are you going to a ball? Something like that, baby. Miss Rosa is going to stay with you tonight, okay? I'll be back before you wake up. Is Mr. Dante taking you? Elena asks with a 6-year-old's innocent curiosity. He's nice. He brought me that unicorn. And he asked me about my favorite books yesterday. Sofia's heart clenches. She hadn't known Dante visited while she was resting. He is nice, isn't he? Are you going to marry him? Elena asks with devastating directness. Like Daddy, but new? The question steals Sofia's breath. She looks at her daughter's hopeful face and realizes Elena needs this too. Needs the stability and safety and father figure that Dante is offering. Maybe someday, Sofia says carefully. Would that be okay with you? Elena considers this seriously. Will he be my daddy then? If you want him to be. Okay. Elena returns to her coloring with a child's easy acceptance. I think Daddy would like him. Mr. Dante has sad eyes like you used to have, but they're getting happier now. Sofia blinks back tears, careful not to ruin her makeup. I love you so much, baby. Love you too, Mama. Be safe. The words, so simple, so heartbreaking, follow Sofia as Dante arrives to collect her. He stops in the doorway, his expression shifting from business focus to pure male appreciation as he takes in her appearance. Dio mio. He breathes. Sofia, you're breathtaking. He's not looking too bad himself in a custom black suit with a dark blue tie that matches her dress exactly. The coordinated outfit sent a clear message. We're together. We're a unit. We're presenting a united front. Nervous? He asks, offering his arm. Terrified, she admits, taking it, but ready. That's my girl. Pride and affection warm his voice. Just stay close to me. Let me do most of the talking. And remember, you're not just Sofia Reyes anymore. Tonight, you're Sofia Moretti in everything but name, the woman I've chosen, the one I'll go to war to protect. The restaurant Dante chose for the meeting is neutral territory, an upscale steakhouse in the Loop owned by an old family that stayed out of territorial disputes. When they arrive, Marco's security team has already secured the space. Private dining room, exits covered, snipers positioned on the roof across the street. Salvatore Vitale is already seated when they enter. He's older than Sofia expected, maybe 65, with silver hair and the kind of presence that comes from decades of commanding respect through fear. Two men flank him, clearly bodyguards, but Salvatore's attention is entirely focused on Sofia. Mr. Moretti. He stands, offering his hand. Thank you for agreeing to meet. Mr. Vitale. Dante shakes his hand but doesn't sit. Instead, he pulls out a chair for Sofia first, settling her before taking his own seat. The gesture, protective, proprietary, doesn't go unnoticed. And you must be Sofia. Salvatore's eyes travel over her with calculating assessment. The woman who's caused quite a stir in our world. I'm just someone who values safety and family, Sofia says, keeping her voice steady. I didn't realize that was controversial. A slight smile touches Salvatore's mouth. Intelligence and beauty. I see why Dante is so taken with you. Let's skip the pleasantries, Dante interjects, his hand finding Sofia's under the table. You wanted to meet. We're here. What's your proposal? Salvatore leans back, steepling his fingers. I want to avoid a war. Wars are expensive, messy, and draw unwanted attention from authorities. So I'm proposing something unprecedented. A merger of territories. Not a takeover, a partnership. Your operations remain yours, mine remain mine, but we coordinate instead of compete. In exchange for what? Dante's tone is skeptical. In exchange for peace, and for your word that certain information stays buried. Salvatore's eyes flick meaningfully to Sofia. I know what she heard, Dante. Vincent sang like a bird before Marco's people made him stop singing permanently. She knows you eliminated the Calabrese family. That kind of information, in the wrong hands, could bring down empires. Sofia feels Dante tense beside her, but she speaks before he can. Mr. Vitale, I'm not interested in bringing down anyone's empire. I'm interested in raising my daughter in safety. And contrary to what you might think, I'm perfectly capable of keeping secrets that protect my family. Your family. Salvatore's gaze sharpens. So it's true then. You're not just a witness he's protecting. You're his woman, his family. Yes. Sofia doesn't hesitate. I am. Then we have common ground. Salvatore pulls out a document, sliding it across the table. This is a treaty. Terms for cooperation between our families. Boundaries clearly defined. Profit-sharing arrangements for joint ventures. In exchange, I guarantee your woman and her child are untouchable. No one in my organization or allied families will make a move against them. They become protected under both our names. Dante reads through the document, his expression unreadable. Sofia can feel the tension radiating from him, the careful calculation, the weighing of risks and benefits. Why now? Dante asks finally. Why offer partnership instead of war? Salvatore's expression softens slightly. Because I'm tired, Dante. I've been in this life for 40 years. I've lost my son to violence, my brother to betrayal. I'm ready to build something that doesn't require constant bloodshed to maintain. He pauses. And because I see something in you I haven't seen in years. Someone who cares about more than just power. She's changed you. Made you vulnerable, yes, but also made you more human. That's worth preserving. Dante's hand tightens around Sofia's. She can feel him warring with himself. The part that wants to trust this offer, and the part that knows trust in his world usually ends with a knife in the back. I need guarantees, Dante says finally, beyond just your word. I need insurance that you won't turn on us the moment it's convenient. Name your terms. For the next hour, they negotiate. Sofia watches, fascinated as Dante transforms into the ruthless businessman who built an empire. He's relentless, extracting concessions and safeguards, building a framework that protects not just himself, but her and Elena by extension. Finally, as midnight approaches, they have a treaty both men can accept. One more thing, Salvatore says as they prepare to sign. A gesture of good faith from my family to yours. He slides a folder across the table. The names of everyone who knew Vincent was on my payroll. Everyone who had information about Sofia and her daughter. They've all been handled. Your leak is permanently sealed. Dante opens the folder, his expression darkening as he reads. You killed 8 of your own people. I killed 8 people who violated the terms I was about to propose. Salvatore's voice is cold. If I want you to trust me, I need to prove I'm serious about protection. Those 8 would have been liabilities. Now they're not. It's brutal, pragmatic, and exactly the kind of gesture that speaks volumes in this world. Dante studies the older man for a long moment, then nods slowly. Then we have an agreement. They sign the documents, witnesses brought in to make it official. As they're leaving, Salvatore catches Sofia's arm gently. Mrs. Reyes, or should I say, soon-to-be Mrs. Moretti. His eyes twinkle knowingly. May I offer some advice? Of course. Never lose that fire in your eyes, the one that made you speak up tonight instead of staying silent. Men like Dante need women like you, strong enough to challenge us, brave enough to stand beside us, and smart enough to survive us. He releases her arm. You're good for him. Don't let this world make you forget that. In the car on the way home, Sofia leans against Dante's shoulder, exhausted and exhilarated in equal measure. You were incredible tonight, Dante murmurs, pressing a kiss to her hair. The way you handled Salvatore, the way you didn't flinch when he talked about the killings. You're a natural at this. Is that a good thing? Sofia asks, half joking, half serious. It's a survival thing. Dante tilts her chin up, his dark eyes intense. And it means you're going to be just fine in my world, Tesoro. More than fine. You're going to thrive. Our world, Sofia corrects. If we're doing this, it's our world now. The smile that spreads across Dante's face is pure happiness. Our world, he agrees. Speaking of which, he pulls a small box from his pocket, and Sofia's breath catches. I know it's fast. I know it's crazy. But I'm done pretending to be practical about this. He opens the box, revealing a stunning emerald ring surrounded by diamonds. My mother's ring. Isabella was supposed to have it someday, pass it down to someone who would appreciate what our family stands for, but I think she'd want you to have it. His voice roughens. Marry me, Sofia. Make this real in every possible way. Let me be Elena's father and your husband and the man who spends the rest of his life making sure you both are happy and safe. Sofia's eyes fill with tears. Dante? I know I'm not the safe choice. I know my world is dangerous and complicated. But I swear to you, I will be the best husband and father I know how to be. I will love you and Elena with everything I have. I will build something better than what I inherited, something Isabella would be proud of. He takes her hand, his thumb brushing over her knuckles. Say yes, Sofia. Choose me. Choose us. Sofia thinks about Carlos, about the love they shared and the life they planned. She thinks about how he would want her to be happy, to give Elena the family and security he couldn't provide. And she knows, with absolute certainty, that this is right. Yes, she whispers. Yes, I'll marry you. Dante's kiss is joyful, celebratory, full of promise. He slides the ring onto her finger, a perfect fit, like it was always meant to be there. And Sofia marvels at how her life has transformed in less than a week. When? Dante asks against her lips. When will you marry me? Soon, Sofia decides. I don't want to wait. Life's too short and too uncertain. Next month, Dante proposes. Gives us time to plan something beautiful. Small, intimate, just family and close friends. Elena can be your flower girl. Sofia's heart swells at the image. She'll love that. I'll love it. Dante's expression softens. The three of us, starting fresh, building a family from broken pieces. Not broken, Sofia corrects, touching his face. Healing. We're healing pieces that are learning how to fit together. Sofia stands in the garden of their new home, not the apartment, but an actual house in Oak Park, with a yard and a porch swing, and enough rooms for the family they're building. Elena chases butterflies in the afternoon sun, her laughter bright and careless in the way only children who feel completely safe can be. Mrs. Moretti. Dante's arms wrap around her from behind, his lips finding the sensitive spot behind her ear. You're supposed to be resting. Sofia places her hands over his on her small baby bump. The doctor said gentle activity is fine. Our daughter is hardly gentle. Dante's hand spreads protectively over her abdomen where their second child, another girl, according to the recent ultrasound, is growing. She's a hurricane like her mother. Elena, Sofia calls, come here, baby. Their daughter runs over, face flushed and happy. At nearly 7 years old, she's transformed from a quiet, cautious child into someone bold and joyful. What, Mama? Your papa and I have something to tell you. Sofia kneels down, bringing herself to Elena's level while Dante crouches beside her. You're going to be a big sister. You're going to have a baby sister in a few months. Elena's eyes go huge. Really? A real baby? A real baby, Dante confirms, his voice warm with love and joy. Who's going to need you to teach her all about butterflies and unicorns and being brave? Elena throws her arms around both of them, squealing with excitement. I'm going to be the best big sister ever. Can we name her Isabella? Like the ant in the feed picture you showed me? Sofia's eyes meet Dante's over their daughter's head. He'd shown Elena photos of his sister, told her stories, made sure she understood that she was joining a family with history and love and loss. Isabella Reyes Moretti, Dante says softly, emotion thick in his voice. I think that's perfect. That evening, after Elena is tucked into bed with promises of shopping for baby things tomorrow, Sofia and Dante sit on their porch swing, watching the sun set over their neighborhood. Happy? Dante asks, his arm around her shoulders. Terrified, Sofia admits. Every single day I wake up afraid this is all a dream, that I'll blink and be back in that tiny apartment, drowning in debt, watching Elena struggle. It's not a dream. Dante's hand finds hers, their wedding bands glinting in the fading light. This is real. You're real. Our family is real. I know. Sofia leans into him. I'm just still adjusting to the idea that I'm allowed to be this happy. After Carlos died, I thought that was it for me. That I'd had my chance at love and lost it, and the rest of my life was just going to be survival. And now? Now I'm living instead of just surviving. She turns to look at him, this man who started as a terrifying stranger and became her everything. You gave me that, Dante. You and your ridiculous, possessive, beautiful heart. You saved me first, Dante corrects, pulling her closer. That night in the hallway, when you heard me break and chose compassion over fear, you saved me, Tesoro. You reminded me I was still human, still capable of feeling something other than rage and guilt. We saved each other, Sofia decides. That's what partners do. Partners, Dante agrees, kissing her softly. for now and forever. As darkness falls over their home, their safe, beautiful, impossible home, Sofia thinks about the journey that brought them here. A whispered secret overheard through a vent, a desperate chase through a stairwell, a terrifying choice that became the best decision of her life. She thinks about the girl she was a year ago, cleaning houses and counting pennies, dreaming of something more but too afraid to reach for it. And she's grateful for the courage she found that night. Grateful for the vent that carried Dante's pain to her ears. Grateful for the moment she chose compassion over caution and changed both their lives forever. Mama! Papa! Elena calls from her window upstairs. Can you see the stars from down there? I found the Big Dipper. We see it, baby. Sofia calls back. Make a wish on it. As Elena does exactly that, her small face pressed to the window in pure joy, Dante pulls Sofia even closer. What would you wish for? He murmurs. If you could have anything in the world? Sofia looks at their daughter in the window, feels the flutter of their second daughter in her belly, and wraps her hand around her husband's. Not a single thing, she says honestly. For the first time in my life, I have everything I need. Dante's smile is brilliant in the darkness. Then we're both the luckiest people alive. And as they sit there, wrapped in each other and the life they've built from secrets and danger and impossible love, Sofia knows it's true. She overheard his secret. He found her listening. And he said, "Now you're mine forever." And she was. Gladly, completely, joyfully his, forever. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you love this story, check out the other videos on your screen now. I think you'll really enjoy them. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next story.